What's up there, YouTube? Taking advantage of this awesome weather we're having on this warm winter day to get some much needed work done on my Ranger. So come along as we replace the old and foggy headlight housings on this truck with some nice new ones. So we're out here on my '05 Ford Ranger. These headlight housings actually came out of an '03 Ranger that I had as a parts vehicle, as did this grill, when I crashed this truck and I went into a fight with a deer. Truck came out a little worse for wear. Deer completely lost the fight, but it did break my awesome clear factory headlights. So I put these in because I had them laying around, and ever since I did, they've always just been a little on the starting to get cloudy, and they've never been able to get them to aim right. And these are what I'm planning to replace them with. One-piece assemblies, halo rings, nice and clear. These should make the front of my Ranger look a whole lot better than these old factory clouded lenses are looking. So come along and I'll show you how to replace headlamp assemblies on a Ranger and convert it to a one-piece assembly. So the first thing you're going to do after popping the hood is you're going to reach behind your headlamps and you're going to find these metal tabs and you're going to pull them up, and that will release your assembly. I kind of need two hands for this. Basically, once you get these out, you can pull the assembly out of the vehicle. But I'm going to need two hands. So here we go. We got the headlamp out. These are the clips that I was talking about. They slide down behind here and they engage in those tabs over there, up there, and there's another one down in there. And that's what actually physically holds the headlights to the vehicle. Now, if you just need to change out a bulb, this is as far as you got to go. And this is where you can get to. Here's your marker turn bulb, headlight bulb. And then in there, you can see here's your side marker bulb. Plugs right there. So you can, from at this point, you can change out any of the bulbs, follow the reverse of disassembly to reassemble it, and you're good to go. But we're going to be adding those. So now I got to get the side marker has to come out. I got to take the other side apart. So take this side marker lens out. You just got two 5.5 millimeter screws down here behind the lens. Take those two out, and then you can, this whole lens will slide out forwards from the vehicle. Alright, so I got the headlamp sitting on the bumper. One set of wiring connections you do have to make is right here, is for this little box. You need to give that box power and ground, and that is what controls the halo rings for the headlamp assembly. So if you don't hook this box up, you're not going to have your halo rings. If you do want the halos, hook that box up. I'm going to actually tap into the marker light harness right here. 2 wires, generous size convoluted tube. My crimp connections will probably be somewhere about there, and then I can fit those 2 wires, can run down the convoluted, come out here, and that box is going to get double stuck tape, probably somewhere in this area, to the bottom of the headlamp housing. And then that socket plugs in right there to the lamp itself. And the blue and black wire there are what are controlling the corner marker. So, yeah. So that's the only real electrical connection you have to make if you want the halo rings. Otherwise, this entire kit is pretty much plug and play and bolts right up to the Ranger. So I've already cut the wires to the pigtail and stripped them back. Utilizing my test light, I have verified that the brown wire over here is my power and the black wire is ground. I was 100% sure that that's how it was. However, it never hurts to take the extra couple of minutes and just verify. This way you're not ending up doing the same job twice if you mess up and put wires backwards, and then LEDs are polarity sensitive, and if you cross the wires it might not work. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the wires. So I've got a crimp-on butt connector here. This one does go from blue down to red because that is a smaller wire there, and I'm going to twist this wire with the wires coming out of the pigtail, and those will go onto the blue side. The red side will go onto that, and I'll crimp it and then shrink the shrink tubing down, and that will make a sealed connection so that my connections will last many years and won't corrode. And there you have the connection crimped together. So this, I will basically repeat those same steps to connect it to that wire, and then I gotta connect the red wire to the brown to the truck, and then I'm gonna have to do it again when I get over there to do the passenger side. So everything is basically is identical. What you're doing on the driver's side, you gotta do on the passenger side. And then the last step, I will use a heat gun to apply heat to that and shrink the sealer around it. It also has it is one of the glued ones, so there is like a glue film in there that will melt, and as the shrink tube shrinks around the wires, it will ooze in there to make sure that it seals the ends up. So that's how you do your shrink connections. So now everything that we just did on the driver's side, I'm going to have to do on the passenger side to get that lamp installed in the vehicle. And then I'm going to have to aim the headlights. I'll show you how to do that. So here we are, converting the Ranger to one-piece headlights. Alright, so I'm about to put the passenger side together. But while I have it out, I wanted to show you how headlight aiming works on this. So, over here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but down in here is the adjuster. And you can get to that with a long Phillips 2 screwdriver. And essentially what you're doing is, that's the adjuster. You put, the screwdriver is going to sit in there. And there's a little geared wheel. And you turn one way and it'll move them up. You turn it the other way and it'll move stuff, and it moves your light pattern down. So that's how you aim your headlights. Now obviously I gotta wait for dark to properly do this, but that's essentially how I go about doing it. So that sits down in there. And that's it. That's how you aim the headlights once you convert this truck over to a one-piece headlight housing. Just for comparison's sake, that was the adjuster on the factory lights. As you can see, that took a socket and it just stuck up, and it was the same thing though. You moved it one way, it moved your pattern down. You moved it the other way, it moved your pattern up. But that was your factory adjuster. So here we are. We got the driver's side all installed. For comparisons, passenger side is still factory. There is your before and after, side by side.